Agricultural development in Kenya can no longer do without sustainability. Ecosystems with diversity of interactions require to be regarded as a whole in order to fully exploit the potentials and limit their associated risks of environmental degradation. Ecological land use management practices, also known as the elum practices, are a type of sustainable land use that pursues agricultural and ecological principles, as well as aiming for food security, social justice, and food quality health. Participatory ecological land use management is a network of civil society organizations or NGOs working with small-scale farmers in East, Central, and Southern Africa. PELUM values people-centered development, recognition and respect for indigenous knowledge, creativity, innovations, and commitment to action, result, and impact. PELUM also promotes participatory ecological land use and management practices in the East, Central and Southern region.
We are looking at those practices that contribute to the balance of ecology. While some of these practices are ecological land use friendly practices, we also are looking at the aspect of economic returns for the farmers.
In this series of best elum practices, the Community Sustainable Development Empowerment Program, a PELUM Kenya member organization based in Gashie district of Central Province, has been implementing different elum practices ranging from mushroom production, compost making, livestock rearing, agroforestry, among other sustainable agricultural activities.
Since the year 2002, we have managed to reach at least 15,000 farmers through training them on sustainable agriculture. In the demo, we have income generating activity within the farm, whereby we grow the crops and we sell it the produce to our local market.
The mushroom growing project was initiated by COSTEP to beef up the annual donor funding in early 2010. They also chose mushroom production due to the high demand and easy accessibility of the markets in Nairobi city.
We mostly or specifically deal with the oyster mushrooms. Some of the benefits of the oyster mushrooms are nutritious wise. It is rich in proteins, and number two, it doesn't demand a lot, or the starting capital for growing oyster mushrooms is a bit low as compared to other varieties like button. You need to have growing looms, and they must be at least two, because you need a growing loom and a loom to colonize your substrate. So the construction of the growing loom and the colonizing loom is just the same. The only difference is that when you start during the growing period, you just open the windows in order to let in air.
Wood-built mushroom growing house needs some soft curtains on the walls, unlike mud mushroom growing houses.
You also put all around the walls, you also need to put some curtains. But if it was in a mud house, which is the best house for mushroom growing, you don't need to put all those things.
One also requires wheat straw, wheat bran, and agricultural lime. A source of fire, big and heavy polythene sheet for steaming the substrate, and small polythene bag of 10 by 15 inches. Chop your wheat straw into small pieces, mix it with water evenly, then remove it and add bran and lime. The ratio of the mixture is 10 kilograms of wheat straw to 2 kilograms of wheat bran to a quarter kilogram of agricultural lime. Mix all together, then stack into the polythene bag. Tie it gently, then put into the silage tube ready for steaming.
After this, I said you have to put at this mouth, you put the cotton wool and then take it to the polythene tube For steaming,
we use the steam to kill all the pathogens that might be there in the substrate, and also to stimulate decaying of the substrate so that mushrooms can find food. This is a polythene tube of 1000 gauge. It is the same as the one used for silage making. We connect this end of the pipe from the tunnel to one end of the tube and the other one to the other end of the tube. Then we light the fire and wait for it to heat up and release the steam to kill the pathogens in the substrate. When tying or when connecting, you have to tie very tightly and also make sure that there is some breathers to avoid the bursting of this tube when it is extremely hot. These ones are made in such a way that we can light fire below them, and they are connected to such pipes that will let out the steam to the polythene tube that contains the substrate. The other thing is that we put water from the other end until they are full. Then they can be used to steam about 150 for a whole night. In fact, when we are steaming, we maintain a temperature of about 70 degrees centigrade within the tunnel, within the tube, for about as long as we can, within 12 hours.
The product is then taken to colonizing room where the sponge